So next up is Kenneth Worrell. Kenneth, as I said earlier and introduced him earlier, is the Managing Director of Worrell Timber Group. And today Kenneth is going to present on mobilising at scale the biomass supply chain.
Thank you very much for taking your time out today. I'm just going to give you a brief introduction to the company and then go on to biomass supply. So the company was set up in 1992, over 30 years experience in harvesting and haulage. Prior to 92, traded as a sole trader a few years. For 20 years developing the biomass system, just 20 years. We worked Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales, Germany and France, which gave us an insight to different ways of harvesting timber. The company's a one-stop shop. We purchase timber, manage those sites, and we supply logs to sawmills and biomass to energy users. Our objective is to drive the business, to maximise the return for the forestry owner and satisfy the supply needs of our customers. A lot of large investment being made at the moment for plant and equipment. 92 was the first year we invested in machines, and we operate our own machines the big thing is training and drivers and getting the job done correctly, and machines looked after. So we've skilled drivers, spend a lot of time in training to maximise the return from the machines and to ensure that sites are managed correctly. By the use of our own machines, we're able to stack the product that's going to be chipped in a way to facilitate airflow and get the moisture content as low as possible. Transport, 1998, we seen the need to get into trucks, and we invested in Volvo, well at the time Scania, and now we've Volvo trucks also. Trucks, they transport the logs to the sawmills with skelly trailers, and some of them have self-loading cranes, and the waste timber and the pulp then is chipped where possible in the forest and delivered in walking floor trailers. We operate all over Ireland, and we use subcontractors from time to time. Chippers in 2014 and 2008, we invested in a Comtech chipper in 2014, and we made a large investment in 2018 with the CBI chipper. The chippers are based on trucks, so it gives us access into difficult sites fairly quick. They're very mobile chippers that are working in the forest, chipping in the sawmills and then in yards. These two machines can produce well in excess of 100,000 tonne per annum, especially the one you see here, the CBI. This machine is specifically designed to take brash. You can see there's a long infeed in it, it's American spec machine. A lot of the European specs are not designed the same way for brash. And the Comtech, which is the other chipper, is more designed for a high quality chip, which is used for smaller boilers. That machine is often out on contract, just chipping for smaller boilers. Logwatch, this is something that I'm very passionate about. It was a system that I've seen coming from the forestry security, the farmer. It's our own traceability and security system. And what it does is, we spent 5 years working on this. What it's doing is giving the timber grower security that he's getting paid for all his timber, basically, because the normal way of doing it is text messages and paper dockets. The farmer who we'll be buying the timber from doesn't get anything until the product is gone. With this system, he sees everything. He sees everything live. It records all the loads and reports them on a secure portal. It gives traceability of your note. The owner gets a message when there's activity on the site. It gives them the opportunity to log onto the portal and see the timber as it moves from the site across a weighbridge. And as you can see here, this is a snapshot of the report, one of the reports that he sees, and it just shows that the load ID, the date, what site it came from, the product, the weight, the weighbridge number, and you can see there's a little blue mark there. That's actually where you can download the weight docket online. So he's seeing all this live. You go across 2 more and you have the forestry docket. He can download that online. He goes onto his site, he sees, oh, there's a docket left here, the paper docket that's normal in the industry, but then he can go in on the portal, yeah, and he can see it live. So it gives him confidence that everything is traceable. Certification. We were one of the first companies in Ireland to go down the RED 2 route. Challenge at the time, being the first off to do it. But yeah, it's something we've worked hard with, and it's just in September now we were certified under RED 3. A lot more issues and challenges to go along, but it's great to get the certification. And through that certification, our auditor was very complimentary about her system, our logwatch system, because no more than the grower, she could see what was happening, and as the product moved from the forest to the customer without very little effort. I'd like to just, there's a big effort made by our team. Owen is around here somewhere, and Derval working on this certification. The other thing, it's a lot of work done in the forest itself to make sure that we're doing everything in the right way, and I think certification puts shows that we are trying to get things right, and it's great to see it. We touched on specified biomass harvesting. This is something we have been looking at since 07. Different ways of harvesting and getting brash off the site. There's a phenomenal amount of it there. If there's a demand for energy, it is there, and there's more there even than we think. And I've worked very closely with IrBEA, Noel Gavigan, Eugene Hendrick and Sean on this paper, and I think it's very important going forward, and it should give confidence to the companies that require energy that product is there. This is a typical site where we've been harvesting biomass, and show here the advantages of the biomass from the grower. He gets a few pounds for it. It's 50 to 100 tonne of brash in a clear fell. Well, it depends on what you can get off it, which depends on the type of ground you're using, but there's a minimum of 50 and up to a potential 100 tonne. The advantage then is when you take the brash away, you're reducing your amount of windrows, so you're going to get more trees into the next crop. By getting a full stock on the trees, that gives you, those trees are more valuable, and we'll come back to that in a second. Reduce the risk of the weevil, reduce the cost of sprays, reduce the risk of fire, reduce the risk of wind blow in the next crop, reduce harvesting costs in the next crop as well. And it's easier to establish and maintain the new plants. And by eliminating windrows is the main thing. To explain this, I suppose, why this is so important. When you harvest timber in a standard way, you pull all the brash into a row, and there's usually 12 metres between each row of brash, which is 6 rows of trees. We're only getting to see this now in old forests, it's second generation. But when you plant those trees, the first row of trees is beside the windrow. It has extra space between it. It grows, because it's the nutrients beside the windrow, it grows very fast. When it grows very fast, it's crooked, and it is branching, more branches on it because it has the space. The second row of trees, then, those trees are suppressed because the big tree beside it is taken over. The third row, which is the third row between the 2 rows of windrows, that row of trees is okay. Fourth row is okay. Fifth row, you have the same situation again. The row of tree is being suppressed because the 6th row, which is beside the other windrow, is taken over. Real issue there is when you go to sell your timber in 30 years' time, clear fell again, a lot of your product is going to be pulp. We're growing the trees to get commercial log out of it. And in this case, we're growing pulp. So by removing that windrow, which SBH harvesting is doing, there's a lot of advantages. And the advantages could be from between 5,000 and 10,000 euro per hectare over the life of the forest, which is a substantial figure. Just a quick thing that was done, a flight through this. We bought timber. It was done through the Simwood project, and the timber was all measured pre-harvesting. And you can see the volumes here: 445, 512, 669. There were 3 small sales that we purchased. So it was decided then we'd harvest the timber through biomass SBH harvesting. And you can see here the extra revenue got from the sites. And we have to keep in mind all this extra volume it's all for biomass. And you can see here 48% more volume, 159% more volume, and 148 in those particular sites. And that project under the Simwood is there to see. It's on the web. As you can see here, why would you leave this product behind you? There's no need. And this particular site on the right was harvest standard way, and we can see the windrows, which weren't that bigger windrows overall, but on the left we have, you can see the site is cleared, full stock in the trees, and someone's going to get paid, as in the grower, for that product on the side of the road instead of having to pay to get it windrowed in the forest and taking up forest space. So why is certified biomass a good fuel source? Well, the financial, there's economical savings. As you can see, if you're using fuel oil, you're talking about 2.6 cents per kilowatt hour you'd save if the product is certified. And if carbon goes to 200 euros a tonne, you're saving 5.2 cents per kilowatt. Substantial saving for a big energy user. Under pressure here to keep going, so I'll just run down through this. It's a defined energy source. You know what you can agree a price, and you know what you're paying for the product. This is security. The product is being exported out of the country the whole time. You keep hearing the same question: is the product there? It's been exported, and more of it can be got if required. It's a local energy source. It's cost security. It's not going to change much in price like oil and gas has. It's a proven efficient source of energy. It's been used for many years in other countries, and the money that's generated from it goes back into the economy, as mentioned earlier. It's environmentally sustainable also. So what we offer is the best option for the timber seller, because we're given security with our log watch system. We're given certification, which means the job will be done right, and that's all adding to value. And like I said, the log watch system gives us security. Forest management, advice on timber harvesting, felling license application, replanting, road grants, and impact statements, and prompt payments. Our 2 main customers are Revo up in Ballina and Ford Namona. We had the opportunity here a couple of months ago. Earlier in the year, we got a call that Minister Healy-Rae wanted to come to one of our sites, and which he did. I think he's a great advocate for the industry, because he's really getting his feet on the ground. It's a very proactive approach. He's committed to tree harvesting. Peatland as well. The issue with peatland not planting, he's pushing on that. We also were awarded a lot of, nominated for a lot of different awards. Last year, the Fleet Awards 2015, we were nominated for 6 awards. We came home with we didn't come out there with nothing. This year we've been nominated again for another 6 awards. The Green Awards and the RDS Fleet Awards. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your presentation, and indeed we work very closely with you on that specified biomass harvesting document, which is a very important piece of work which is done